One moment, he was about to achieve his dream. The next, a black Marine was ordered out of his own graduation. But just as his world was crashing, a group of Navy SEALs stepped in, and what they did next will leave you speechless. You won't believe how this story ends. The air crackled with excitement, a symphony of proud cheers and camera clicks. Families beamed, tears of joy streamed, and the future stretched bright before the graduating class of aspiring military heroes. Among them stood Marcus Thorne, a young black Marine, his uniform crisp, his heart swelling with pride. This was his moment, the culmination of years of relentless dedication, sweat, and sacrifice. He scanned the crowd, searching for his beaming mother, a smile already forming on his lips. But just as his name was about to be called, a stern-faced official approached him, his expression grim. "Marine Thorne," he whispered, his voice low but firm. "You need to leave. Now." The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. The cheers faded, the smiles blurred. Leave? His graduation? A cold dread washed over him, replacing the pride with a searing humiliation. He looked around, bewildered, as whispers began to ripple through the rows of graduates and their families. What was happening? Why was he being singled out? His dream, his triumph, was crumbling before his eyes, and he had no idea why. Unbeknownst to Marcus, a small group of Navy SEALs, decorated veterans invited to witness the ceremony, had been observing the scene from their vantage point. Master Chief Petty Officer Jones, a man whose eyes had seen more combat than most could imagine, narrowed his gaze. Beside him, Chief Miller and Petty Officer First Class Davies exchanged questioning glances. They had served alongside Marines, knew their grit, their honor. To see one, especially on such a momentous day, being publicly dismissed, without explanation, struck a raw nerve. They watched as Marcus, his shoulders slumping, began to move towards the exit, a silent testament to his discipline even in the face of profound confusion. A collective unease settled over the SEALs. This wasn't right. It felt wrong. Every fiber of their being, honed by years of upholding justice and protecting their own, screamed that something was amiss. They weren't just spectators. They were guardians, and this young Marine, in that moment, needed one. As Marcus neared the aisle, the SEALs made their move. Master Chief Jones, with a quiet nod to his team, rose from his seat. His presence, even in civilian clothes, commanded attention. He walked purposefully, his stride unwavering, directly towards the official who had just delivered the devastating news. "Excuse me, sir." Jones's voice was calm, but it carried the weight of authority. "Is there a problem here?" The official, flustered by the unexpected intervention, stammered, trying to explain some obscure procedural infraction. But the SEALs weren't listening to excuses. Chief Miller stepped forward, placing a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Marine," he said, his voice resonating with respect. "You earned this. Every single bit of it." Then, in a move that stunned everyone, Master Chief Jones turned to the entire graduating class and the assembled crowd. "If this Marine leaves," he announced, his voice clear and unwavering, "then we all leave." And with that, the 3 Navy SEALs, symbols of elite military honor, began to walk towards the exit, not alone, but with Marcus Thorne proudly by their side. The sight of the highly decorated Navy SEALs walking out in solidarity sent shockwaves through the auditorium. The official, suddenly understanding the gravity of his actions, looked utterly mortified. The whispers turned into a murmur of outrage, followed by a wave of applause for the SEAL's unwavering stand. It turned out the infraction was a ridiculous misunderstanding, a misplaced piece of identification that had been found moments after the official's hasty decision. There was no malice, just an overzealous adherence to protocol that had nearly cost a deserving Marine his moment. News of the incident quickly spread, amplified by social media. The SEAL's act of defiance against perceived injustice resonated deeply with the public. The military command, swift to correct the error, immediately intervened. The official was reprimanded, and a formal apology was issued to Marcus. But more importantly, the brotherhood displayed by the SEALs became a powerful symbol. Later that day, a special, private ceremony was held for Marcus Thorne. It wasn't in a grand auditorium, but in a more intimate setting, attended by his family, the commanding officers, And, of course, the 3 Navy SEALs who had stood by him. This time, when his name was called, it was met with a roar of genuine, heartfelt applause. Marcus, his eyes shining with a mixture of relief and profound gratitude, walked across the stage to receive his diploma. Master Chief Jones, Chief Miller, and Petty Officer Davies stood front and center, their presence a silent, powerful endorsement. This wasn't just about a piece of paper. It was about integrity, about standing up for what's right, and about the unbreakable bonds forged in service. The story of Marcus Thorne and the Navy SEALs became a legend, a reminder that true strength isn't just in combat, but in compassion, in courage, and in the unwavering commitment to brotherhood, no matter the cost. If this story of courage and brotherhood touched you, imagine the other incredible true tales we have waiting. Hit that like button to show your support, and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another inspiring story. What was your favorite part of this unbelievable moment? Let us know in the comments below.